Hi, this is Trey Passer, and this is my movie review of Underworld Awakenings with spoilers. Okay, there's a ticket. I don't know if you can see that good. I don't know if it focuses enough. It never focuses with its ticket. But anyway, I went to see Underworld Awakenings at 7:45. I saw it in IMAX in 3D. Okay, IMAX is still too high, but let me just first say I absolutely enjoyed this movie. It was a, excuse me, just a total kick-ass movie. The movie I think is only like 95 minutes long, but it's just kick-ass from start to finish. And like I said, Kate Beckinsale is just absolutely fantastic as Celine. I think it's a role she was just born to play. She's just a total badass as Celine, so it just works for me. And basically, the story begins with, I guess, after the events of part two. Okay, and apparently Michael is waiting. Michael, the character played in the second part of the movie by Scott Speedman, is waiting on a dock for Celine, and while she's on her way to see him, okay, she gets jumped, of course, by humans trying to kill her, and of course she easily dispatches them. Okay, and then you see a set of humans converging on the dock where the character of Michael is waiting for Celine. But let me just say something about the character of Michael, which I'm going to save for the end. Okay, okay. I'm gonna. I just have a minor beef with that. Okay, with the character of Michael in this movie. Okay. Anyway, back to the dock where the humans are converging on Michael and attacking him. Of course, he changes into his hybrid form and starts fighting them off. And of course, Kate Celine is making her way down to see him when of course they fire some, I guess, big gigantic grenade gun, and this blows Michael off the dock, literally blows him and the dock up, and he of course falls unconscious into the water, and Celine dives in after him, and of course, and she's swimming to him while they're shooting bullets at them into the water, and just as she's about to reach him, they fired another grenade gun, big gigantic grenade gun in the water, and it just boom, big gigantic explosion, and it separates them. One goes this way, one goes that way. Okay, and then the start of the movie begins. I guess that's like the preview part of the movie. Then the actual movie starts, where you hear a news reporter saying how humans have discovered that the two species has existed. The lichens and the vampires, and they're going about eradicating them. Basically, they're killing them, and they show scenes of them, exposing vampires to sunlight. Shooting lichens with silver, and just basically eradicate them. And then they cut back to this lab where you see these three chambers, and you see in one chamber you see Celine. You can see her face, and all of a sudden the chamber, which I guess is supposed to be cryogenically frozen, it thaws, and then she wakes up. You see her waking up, and she's looking all around her, and then of course she breaks out, of course, and then they show her, like you see in the trailer, her putting on her bad leather outfit as usual, and she's basically kicking human ass. And meanwhile, she's of course looking for Michael, of course wondering where he is. Okay, and then she's getting these flashes of images of somebody escaping from the lab, and of course like I said, she kicks human's ass and she escapes from the lab, and she goes about looking for Michael. Okay, and where she finds she's actually and I don't know if this was in part two. It's been a while since I've seen part two, so I don't know if was true, where she can actually see what Michael sees. So she's basically trying to trace his steps where when he escaped, and she's looking for him, and she makes her way down to the tunnel, to this underground tunnel, and then what she thinks is Michael. It's not actually Michael. It's a young girl named Eve. Like I said, if you've seen the trailer, the girl Eve that's in the trailer. She's supposed to be a hybrid child, and of course, she turns out to be, you know, the daughter of Michael and Celine. Apparently, when Celine and Michael were being frozen, I guess they were sampling their DNA, and they created Eve. And it just occurred to me just now, Eve, of course, Adam and Eve. Okay, so, and of course, Eve is a hybrid, so of course she has the werewolf and vampire powers also. And there's a great scene where Celine and Eve, and they actually meet this young vampire. His name is David, and he's helping them fight off lichens, because when she finds Eve for the first time, there's a bunch of lichens that are actually hunting her, and of course this guy helps, young vampire helps them, and they escape. And while they're running off in a van, the lichens come in the street and they attack the van, and they're trying to get to Eve, and of course they're trying to fight them off, shake them off, and they crash in cars and doing everything else. And then one lichen even breaks into the van and he attacks Eve, and then you see her full, her full vampire, hybrid powers, where she just literally rips the lichen in half and tosses him out of the van. Okay, and then the next scene, of course, is actually, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and do this. I was gonna try to. I don't want to get this review bogged down, but basically, the next scene, they take this young vampire named David, who's helping Celine and her child. He takes them to their lair, where they meet his father and a bunch of like a nice layer of other vampires. And of course, the father doesn't, he knows who Celine is, and knows her reputation as being a death dealer, and he wants her gone. He doesn't want anything to do with her. He thinks that she's gonna bring the humans down upon them, and he wants them gone. But the son wants to fight. He wants to stand up and fight. Okay, but Celine's, like I said, she's at this point, she's kind of out of it, because she's kind of despairing. She has this daughter, and she's sad because she can't find Michael. And but just at this moment, of course, they think humans are attacking, but it's not actually humans. It's actually a bunch of lichens, which of course Celine helps them fight off the lichens. And then all of a sudden you see this gigantic, which you see in the trailer, if you've seen the trailer of this movie, you see this gigantic lichen, which is like twice the size of a normal lichen. And he's basically slaughtering the people, the other vamps in the lair, and he actually beats the crap out of Celine and takes Eve back to the lab. Okay, and this is where you find out what the main plot of the movie is. Okay, the lab, there's a doctor in the lab, played by Stephen Rea, who's called, I think, Dr. Jacob Lang, I think that's his name. Anyway, supposedly the humans, or what Celine thought were humans that were experimenting on her and Michael and Eve, actually are not human. They're actually lichens. So that's because there's a part. Excuse me, I'll back up a little bit. There's a part. Michael Ealy is in this movie also. He plays a detective, and he basically fills in Celine on the fact that that most of the lichens have been wiped out, but they actually, like I said, they actually find out like through the plot of the movie that the lichens actually run that lab, and they just set it up where it appears that most of the lichens have been wiped out, but in actuality, like I said, they run the lab, and they're the reason they want Eve back is they want to take her blood, and that will help them become, and that creates these super lichens that are impervious to silver. They heal super fast, and basically they can't be killed. Okay, so of course Celine goes back, with the cop paid by Michael Ealy, and they break into the lab, of course, and this total mayhem, this total kick-ass. That's probably my favorite part of the movie, where Celine she's just going through the lab, kicking ass, and she's setting bombs, she's blowing stuff up, all in effort to get her daughter back, and it's absolutely just fantastic and kick-ass. And then there's a scene, actually, because, like I said, Celine has been led to believe that Michael, got killed, but actually, when she goes to rescue Eve, she finds Michael hanging up in one of the tubes, suspended tubes, or chrono, whatever they call these tubes, where they kept them cryogenically frozen. And she actually finds Michael there, and she, before she goes to get Eve, because they're about to experiment on her, she breaks the seal off the thing so Michael can escape, and then she goes and does her kick-ass thing. Okay, and like I said, and I love the way the fight. There's also a great fight between her and the gigantic, the gigantic lichen that she fought earlier that totally kicked her ass. It's just a total badass fight in the parking structure. And also Eve actually gets to fight the evil doctor, because he apparently has been experimenting with her blood, and he's like a super vamp. He's a super lichen also, and they have a great knockdown fight too, which is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, I love this movie. I only have one quibble with this movie, and it's maybe, I don't know if you've heard of this or not, and that's why I put spoilers in this, and this is a spoiler. Scott Speedman is not really in the movie. Okay, apparently they hired an actor who looks, or a stuntman, whatever, that looked, or a model, whatever, and that looked similar to Scott Speedman, because they show, like I said, that when they first show him on the dock waiting for Celine, you see a guy that looks, sort of like Scott Speedman, same hairstyle and everything else, same build. For all we know, it could be his stunt double in the previous movies, but they show him at a distance, so you can't really see up on his face. And then, of course, when he changes into a hybrid, he could be anybody. You could just, can't tell if it's really Scott Speedman. And then also, towards the end, when she frees him from the cryogenic lab, you see him hanging up. He's like, they got him like hanging up, and you see him through the through the glass, and you can't really tell like if that's Scott Speedman. Of course, I've been reading things that Scott Speedman wasn't in the movie. They didn't ask him to be, which I can't understand. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they hire him to be in the movie? It makes no sense to me. I don't know if they had a falling out or if they offered him the part, but apparently I'm reading things. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe somebody else knows, and they can leave a comment and let me know if they heard why they didn't allow Scott or ask him to be in this movie. And to me, I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, why? It's not like Scott Speedman's an A-list actor that he'll demand a tremendous salary. That he won't be in the movie. And I don't know if I read any interview with, maybe somebody read an interview and asked, why he didn't do, why they didn't ask him, or maybe there was a reason. But the way it ends, they end it with Eve and Celine together, and of course they're looking for Michael. They're looking, they go up on the roof. They can see that how he escaped, and they went up on the roof because, like I said, they can see whatever he sees. They can see it. They have the same gift. They can actually see what he sees. And they go up to the roof, and I thought maybe they're going to have a reunion, but they didn't end it that way. They had just them going on the roof and basically saying that the war is far from over. You know, the Vikings, the vampires will regroup to continue to battle the Lycans and stuff. And I guess, like I said, I'm assuming that in the next movie they're going to have Eve and Celine together and have them maybe searching for Michael, and maybe this time they will actually get Scott Speedman in the movie. I don't understand why they wouldn't allow him to be in the movie, or at least, or ask him to be in the movie. It just makes no sense to me. But other than that, I absolutely love the movie. The movie, like I said, it's like 95 minutes and it's total kick-ass. I mean, like I said, Kate Beckinsale was just born to play that role. So Celine, she's just a total badass. I love the way she handles the gun, the way she kicks people's ass. She's, like I said, she's a total badass. So I would highly recommend this movie. This movie's totally entertaining. Like I said, I saw it in 3D. The 3D works actually for this movie. It's still too high, but it actually works for this movie too. I love seeing the kills in 3D and stuff. It looks great. And also, like I said, they definitely, I think this movie will be #1 this weekend. So I think they will be making a sequel, and hopefully, like I said, they will actually get Michael in the movie. It would be fun to actually see him interact this time with his daughter and Celine. So this is Trey Pastor saying, feel free to leave comments below and let me know what you think. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. If you think it's good or not. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.